And then coming back, orienting yourself. Have a look. You're sitting here in this moment, in this new moment. Maybe stretching a little bit. And coming back in front of the camera. Yeah, that meditation is definitely an invitation to inquire into what is there, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, and especially this okayness, this neutralness. I find it's the great gray zone where we can also, even cultivate a little bit more equanimity. Yeah. My name is Tatini Petra Schmidt. I'm from Cologne. I'm here in Germany right now in a center here at 11 o'clock. I will start my meditation day with MBSR participants, and I'm age 57. I'm MBSR teacher since 2008 and MBSR educator since 2019 and member of the MBSR board, German MBSR board, since November last year. And inquiry is something I'm doing, not on a day-to-day basis, but I'm also in the Ridwan School where we do regularly inquiry, and I meet once a week with my inquiry buddy. And if I have a problem, before I take supervision or therapy, I prefer inquiry actually. Yeah, and I would like to share my experience and also experiences and inspirations and sources from other teachers. So feel free to join. And I will share my screen now. So yeah, I find it's really an art. It is an art and a practice in our mindfulness-based interventions, but also in everyday life. It's an art, and we use it with curiosity and care in our classes. We use it really with curiosity, with care in our classes when we teach. Also when we implement teaching points. And I really find this gift of exploration that lies in this unfolding power of the moment-to-moment experiences, where we try to leave our stories behind, where we let go of them. And then we enter into this present moment. And I find it's really wonderful to use it after a mindfulness practice, when we come back from like the body scan and we ask, what was your experience? What were you sensing, etc. I also like to use it when I present a new topic. And also when people in my courses, they come together after a week and then they explore experiences between the course meetings. And also we can use it, as we saw, as a spiritual practice, like a continuous unfolding of what is here. And that we acknowledge that this is our truth in this moment. It's a natural truth. And it doesn't matter whether it is an essential experience or an experience of your personality, a pleasant or an unpleasant experience. That is what is there right now. And that's where we can support our participants. I find that it is also really a form of conversation. And it really invites the exploration of our own perceptions, of our own feelings, and of course also of our thoughts. Yeah? And it really, inquiry for me, it really stimulates awareness of my own experience and actions. And of course, it includes the physical, the emotional, the cognitive qualities associated. Yeah. So, and the more we inquire, the more we become self-aware with kindness, with mindfulness. Yeah. And inquiry really cultivates our ability to sense and express how we are actually doing, yeah, versus how we want to be doing. Yeah. Also, in the end, we are more connected to our real experience rather than our opinion of the experience. So we can really, it's an invitation to turn ourselves towards ourselves with joy, yeah, with curiosity, with wonder. What is here right now? Let's discover. And then a lot decreases after time. The willingness to feel right or to have a right, to repeat old stuff. And then more and more we might be able to share ourselves. Yeah, really share ourselves, let ourselves be touched and touched by what has been shared. So that is something that occurred after a beautiful conversation with my colleague, Dr. Niels Altner from Germany, where we looked into the phenomenology of inquiry. And this is what I really would like to share in this moment. And I find when we teach mindfulness-based interventions, I find it's really a most interesting aspect. And it confuses me and also most of my colleagues, because it's a little bit challenging to really grasp it. What is it? We can become very, very experienced at teaching structures or teaching meditations, and but inquiry is always a fresh process. It starts in the now, and it challenges us to really be present and to go into that space of not knowing, of that opening of the heart, of really being present into the body. And then sometimes the mind maybe gets really quiet, and then, yeah, what to say and what to do now? Yeah. It's hard to define. It's a very alive process. I found it really, really challenging to prepare for this talk, because I found myself inquiring, what is it really? What do I want to bring across here? So it is as complex as our humanness, our individuality. And at the same time, it's as simple as showing up in this moment and sharing a breath together in this space, right? So please, if something I want to bring across, I would like to bring across, we will never get it right, and we will never get it wrong. Once we are there, we are really there with our humanness, with our vulnerability, or with our concepts, yeah, moment by moment by moment, the art of inquiry will unfold by itself. At least this is my experience. And that's why in the beginning I wrote, it's an art. It is really an art. And that absolutely refers and connects to what we have been experiencing yesterday. So I wrote down a couple of topics, what it is not. And maybe through this we can distinguish and move into what it could be. What is it not? It is surely not a discussion, because the term discussion refers to an exchange of ideas. Inquiry, on the other hand, is an exploration of the direct present experience, no, of feelings, sensations, and of thoughts. It is not an elaboration. It's more a distillation. No, it's right the opposite of telling each other stories, why and what and circumstances, and yeah. That is also nice, to have a nice chat about it. Or when we do therapy, we ask why, yeah? In inquiry, we ask what, yeah? How is it? Yeah, it is also not an interpretation. Yeah, interpretation refers to my meaning of my experience. It's a lot about me, no? Yeah, in the context of inquiry, things are often more seen as temporary and conditional. And that also changes from moment to moment. So we need to let go again. Yeah. Yeah. Fixing. I remember when one of my mindfulness teachers he said, no one needs repair in this room. And that really got me, because I always like to, I'm a nurse, I'm also a naturopath, and people come with me with their deficiencies and illnesses and sicknesses. And I like to help, I like to rescue. I did help rescuing people in hospital. So this fixing, this helping is we let go again of. So there's someone there, if you can mute yourself. Thank you so much. Yeah, and is it a doing? I would say it's rather a way of being. It's rather a way of being. Yeah. So what is it for you in this moment? Would you like to write that in the chat? And then just to warm up a little, and then in a couple of minutes we will go into our first inquiry together in breakout rooms. So use the chat. I warmly invite you to write down for you, what is it in this moment? Yeah, have a look. Have a look how much wisdom here is and experience. Super. Okay, and let's stop for this moment if you feel like, and have a look in the chat. Have a look in the chat and read what is here. And maybe there's one sentence, there's one quality, one word that is touching you in this moment, that is inspiring you in this moment. And invite yourself to embody this quality for a moment. You can use it as a little mantra. You sit for a moment, you close your eyes, and you whisper that word into your own ears, like opening, opening, opening. Let this quality arise in you to support your inquiry of this moment. Surround yourself with that quality. Invite it to be there. Okay, thank you. Gently come back, and I would like to invite you now to a round of inquiry in breakout rooms. I prepared already some breakout rooms. Sherida, I did it in the meantime here. So, and there will be about 5 or 6 people in the breakout room. Let me share my screen again, and I would like to share with you what we are going to do now. Let's inquire. So we will take altogether about 15 minutes, and the structure will be looping. Looping is a special form of inquiry where we sit together, and I wrote down clockwise. Let's see how this clock will unfold in your small group. And for the first 7 minutes, each of you, one after the other, share 1 or 2 sentences about inquiry or inquire. Inquiry right now for me is. And you start this sentence, yeah? Inquiry right now for me is that excitement of wanting to know, desperately wanting to know what you will experience. Yeah? And then the next, and then the next. And with that looping, we invite ourselves to go into a mode, into a really deep dive, or you know, rising into the sky with that question. Right now, inquiry for me is, right now I'm sensing, yeah, this or that. Maybe one person would like to be the timekeeper, yeah. And then after 7 minutes, you end, you have a moment of silence, and then you share what came up for me, what was important, what was new. Have a sharing, have a conversation about the fruits of that inquiry. And as I said already, if you don't want to be part, you just stay here in this room, in the main room. And we have 9:40, 9:50, Let's meet again 9:55, okay? Enjoy your inquiry. See you later.
Because it's open, it's not a concrete program I follow. It's just this openness, but on the same time, yeah, it's so rich and
Super. Thank you, Katharina.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Who else would like to share his or her experience or the experience in your small group? Just raise your hand and then, yeah, Franz.
Well, I can share that within 15 minutes, I have 6 more friends now. It looks like if you know each other all so much more, so much longer than in this 15 minutes. So this is the connecting. This is the out of the mind and just be open. It was pretty nice.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, I thought while we're waiting for the others, we can start chatting already a little bit. Yeah.
What I noticed is that we all felt very vulnerable at the beginning. So it's like Franz says, the longer we were sharing, the more comfortable and like, the shared humanity was growing. And yeah.
Nice.
That's my experience. Yeah.
Nice. And how does it make you feel?
More connected. Yeah.
Ah, wonderful. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Who else would like to share? Katharina, once more. Wonderful.
Yeah, once more, I want to pick up what Franz said, and the connection idea, and also what I felt was very nice to be from all over Europe. In our group, we were really from all different countries. So to go so fast, so close together, and that was really amazing. To connect so deep in such a short time. Even, yeah, and from all these different countries. That's it.
Nice. Yeah, expansion. Sounds like an expansion. Rainy.
Yeah, I think the connection thing, how deep that connection went, that sense of that my depth was somehow reflected in the depth and the way that other people explored and shared. And then it became our collective depth very quickly.
Wow, collective depth. How do you perceive collective depth, Rainy? What is it?
For me, it was in the echoes of what I was sensing and feeling myself that came out in other people. So there were the things that I said, but there were also the things that I did not say that other people then said. So it was as if the whole of my experience was somehow reflected there, even the parts that I wasn't visibly or verbally sharing.
Thank you so much, Rainy. Yeah, that really speaks to me and probably also to more of us. Maybe one last person before we move on. Would anyone like to share his or her experience? Yeah. Adamur,
yeah.
Adamur, yeah.
What's here with me now on reflection is what you said, we will never get it right and we will never get it wrong. And at the start, there's a little bit, what are we supposed to be doing? And then that very quickly faded. And we just naturally found our rhythm, and it was just quite a very natural process. And I think that's really beautiful, and I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, if I may add something to that. So it seems like being a mindfulness teacher, it brings some feeling of responsibility that we carry on our shoulders. Responsibility for ourselves, but mostly responsibility for the people that we teach. And with that responsibility comes some tension in the body that we want it to go right. And what we learned today, and thank you so much for that, Tatini, there is no right or wrong way in inquiry. It's about connecting from one human to the other human being in openness and in curiosity, and basically connecting from heart to heart. There is no right or wrong way. So we can let go of the feeling of being responsible for the inquiry to go right in our teaching. We are, at first, we are a human being. Secondly, we are mindfulness teachers. And if we open our hearts to the other human being, and we share our experiences or our expertise as teachers, we do that by connecting from heart to heart through the inquiry. So that is like a summary of the things that I've heard so far. And so that's what I wanted to share with you.
Thank you so much, dear Sherida. Thank you from the depth of my heart. Would you like to give me the co-host again so I can share my screen once more? Super. Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank
I already did it, Sherida.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's move on with something else. Dr. Fuller. What do we actually need to inquire? Either our own experience or the experience from and with the participant, with the colleague, with the dear friend, with the lover. I got really inspired by Dr. Otto Scharmer, who says, you need an open mind, an open heart, and an open will. And the open mind, for me, refers to that space of not knowing, watching my judgments, watching also my goal-oriented listening and acting and reacting. And we do need an open heart, a compassionate heart and a heart full of empathy. And of course, we open and close all the time. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we need to be open or we can be open, because inquiry includes also to really get when we are not open, and that it is also okay, with equanimity, with all the self-compassion we also have. If we close down, we see a participant walking into a room, we work with someone, we feel like, oh no, difficult. Yeah. And Otto Scharmer, he says, watch out for the cynicism, this cynical voice that provides you with closing up your heart. Yeah, the effect of cynicism is that you close your heart. It's important sometimes. With consciousness, with awareness, with the gentleness, with friendliness, we can see that happening and we can take care of ourselves. Maybe to do an inquiry afterwards, or taking a inquiry-based supervision. What was actually going on with that client yesterday? Very interesting. And what we do need also is an open will, the courage. We need trust and courage to be in that space, to work from that space, to share from that space. Yeah, watching out for fear or for control, which is also very natural. It's not this is better than that, because inquiry, yeah, this equanimity that arises out of our mindfulness embraces it all. So in a way, our mindfulness-based interventions are really defined by inquiry. And this emotional coloring, or let's say the quality of interactions between teachers and our people, yeah, this transmits the quality we want to cultivate. So when you look back on the courses they were taking with you, they are likely to recall more the space, or let's say the emotional quality and how they were felt, rather than what was the topic of the teaching. Yeah. And the way you interact with your people, and as Tanya Singer, who is a researcher, says, the people who watch, no? Participants in the room watching you working with another participants in this inquiry mode, open-ended and heartful, and they learn the most. So the way you are with them, they bring home and they learn how to be with themselves in a different way, how to inquire in this non-violent, non-judgmental way. No? So we can show them how to handle their own experiences when they go back home, when they have the week where they practice. Mm-hmm. And last week I was teaching MBSR-4, and MBSR-4 is about it's about stress. It's about stress and about boundaries. And there was this participant coming in, and he had a broken leg, and that was already going on for about 6 weeks or so. And this participant, he came in, and he tells us that this has been a week of no practice at all. Everything annoyed him. He didn't like the body scan. He didn't like the body scan from the very beginning. He said he just can't do what he wants because of this broken foot, and that annoys him, and everything annoys him. And I felt annoyed myself. I felt like, oh yeah, this poor guy. And I literally felt this itching and this annoyance in my body. I could really, really sense it. Yeah. And then he also skipped the yoga right away. He said, and then this shitty yoga, and then I couldn't download the material, and then I stopped it altogether. And it was really the annoyance was in the room. It was everywhere. No? So now what I could have done is I could have explored with him, let's say, how this being annoyed feels in the body, what sensations and stuff. But I felt, no, I stopped and I felt into my body, felt the annoyance. And then I felt into my own heart. Yeah. And what I felt was insecurity. I felt insecurity. So asking myself, what does this participant really want to say? I had to distinguish between the message and the noise around. Yeah, this itching and this annoyance. And then I sensed it. I sensed insecurity. And then I asked him, how does it make him feel? And he says, insecure. He said insecure. He can't do sports anymore, and he was pushing himself all the time. He always, what did he say? Ich habe es immer durchgezogen. I pushed it through all my life, he said. Yeah. So then I was with him just for a moment in silence. I felt my insecurity, and by naming it, he calmed down. I asked him, how is it now? And he said, it's better. And I said, oh, wow, that's interesting. We're just naming it. And this is sometimes enough. This is sometimes enough. And we do have clients, we do have participants. I have it that I don't practice. I don't practice what I preach, right? Who does have that sometimes? Put your hand in the camera. You don't practice what you preach. It's normal. this is part of the humanness. I failed again. Okay. Interesting. I call it failure. Okay. So what is actually right about not practicing, about that no, about that resistance? So we do another special kind of inquiry, and this time with 3 in one room. And the paradoxical inquiry is to shake a little bit an entrenched point of view. Yeah, in order to create space for something new. And we will do, I share this. Moment.
So Tatini, you said 3 in one room?
Yes. So can you see the screen? Can you see it? Can someone say something?
No.
Can't see the screen.
Okay, let's see. Here we go again.
Yes.
Now you can see it, no? Okay,
Yes.
Let's inquire again. So we take another 10 minutes, and it would be great if someone would be the timekeeper. I thought it's better to take 3 people than 2 people. So, and we do this for a little bit longer. We say, we do 7 minutes again, 7 minutes and 7 minutes again. Yeah. And the first round of 7 minutes, you say something about what is right about not doing my practice. Yeah. And you start each sentence with, what's right about not doing the practice is because then I can sleep longer. One sentence. Then the next person. Well, what's right about not doing the practice is actually nothing. Nothing is right. This question annoys me altogether. Really be in the moment with that question and with that resonance, and just speak it out in one sentence. And then the next person says, well, what's right about not doing the practice is I'm practicing so much when I'm teaching. I don't need that anymore. Yeah, really say what you think, say what you feel right now for 7 minutes. And then the next 7 minutes, you share each sentence, each person one sentence. When I do practice, I feel enriched. Thank you. When I do the practice, I feel sometimes nothing. I feel my body hurts and I want to sleep out. Thank you. Huh? Okay. And we have 10:25 and we be back at 10:40. Have fun with the next inquiry. See you in a bit. Welcome back, everyone. Sensing into the new moment with curiosity and care, with what is happening, what is really happening here for yourself and in this field we have been creating together in the last 90 minutes. The field of exploration. And I would also say the field of humbleness. The field of humbleness and openness to learn together, to never ever end learning together. Lifelong learning. We're never finished. Inquiry is a never ending exploration. So let's continue of being really fully human, which often means to be confused, uncertain, struggling, and that's really the best example we set for others, and on the path of that unfolding mystery of life, right? Yeah. Thank you for coming and exploring together, and maybe consuming, maybe receiving, whatever. Feel welcome the way you are in this moment, in this new moment. And I scroll as I'm saying bye-bye and hand over to Sherida.
So thank you so much, Tatini. This was so inspiring, and it was, if I may say, for myself and for the participants today, this morning, it's so wonderful to connect with teachers. Teaching can sometimes feel a bit lonely. You and your group of participants to your training. And what I mentioned earlier, that you feel the responsibility that your teaching goes right, and sometimes you're so caught up in the mind of what you want to do, what you have to do. You want to follow the program, but you also interact with participants. And it was so nice this morning that you shared with us, Tatini, the most important thing: there is no right or wrong way when it comes to inquiry. It's connecting with an open mind, an open heart, an open will to interact and connect from curiosity, and just share, communicating, sharing from human to human. And thank you so much for this experience and everybody who participated this morning. And we really hope that, by adding inquiry into as a theme in the festival, in this year's festival, makes you feel more confident as a teacher. You don't have to know. And there is, you can't make a mistake. It's just being human, and that's what we all are, and that's what we share, the common humanity. So thank you for this morning. Thank you, Tatini, and thank you, everybody. We're now going to have a somewhat longer body break. We start again at 11, and from 11, we have another very interesting topic, trauma sensitivity. And that will be guided by Eva Edmondson. So for some of you who are not going to participate in the next topic, thank you so much for being here this morning. Hopefully we'll see you again another time. And for the ones who will continue with participating in this festival, we'll see you again at 11, and we're going to have a break now. So what we do, Tatini has taught us this connection thing. I would like everybody to raise their hands, like in the screen, and you touch the end of your where your camera goes. And this is just to, connect with each other and hold hands digitally. Just hold hands digitally as a mindfulness community, and we share and we feel the connection, and we are connected as teachers and as human beings. Oh, wow, this is wonderful. And feel the connection. You are not alone. We are together in this, and we're holding hands. Feel the energy. So thank you so much, and we'll see you back at 11.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So guys, I come back